PNR Networks is a member of Patreon. Show your love for our shows by joining our ongoing fundraising campaign and get some fantastic perks in return. Check it out and become a Patreon sponsor. You can sign up at patreon.com, patreon.com/PNR Networks. And thanks for your support.
This podcast is a member of the Blueberry Network. Blueberry. No E's. That's Blueberry, BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com.
This podcast is a proud member of the Lamb Podcasting Network. Find the network at largeassmovieblogs.com.
I should do my Billy Crystal imitation, right?
Huh?
It's time for Oscar, Oscar, Oscar. And all the other awards on this special red carpet edition of Subject Cinema. We're going to run down all the big nominations and some of the winners that have happened already. Talk about the nominations for the Oscars and a bunch of other stuff. And hopefully it's going to be a shorter show than usual, but we had our reasons. And we will have a very special announcement about a brand new show at the end of the show. All that and more, right here, right now. I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
Like sands through the glorious statues.
This is Subject Cinema.
Stand by to receive our transmission.
This town needs an enema.
Celebrating a decade of film podcasting. Lasting out of Beantown, USA, you're tuned into Subject Cinema with T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown.
Directive.
Oh, behave. Yeah.
I volunteer as tribute.
Suppose you run your business and let me run mine. Here's looking at you, kid.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome TC and Kim.
Welcome to a special midweek edition of Subject Cinema. I'm T.C. Kirkham.
Hi, I'm Kim Brown.
It is day and date January 25th, 2017. Oscar nominations were announced yesterday. In between me going to the doctor and everything else, I just had to get everything right. How was your week? Week and a half, actually.
It's been fine.
And you're excited because Supernatural's back tomorrow.
I'm very excited that Supernatural is back, and I'm also very excited about something else that already happened, but, you know.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Well, Supernatural winning a People's Choice Award.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about People's Choice Awards a little bit later on in the show.
Yeah.
So this show is going to be an all red carpet monitor edition. We're going to go over the Oscar nominees and the Razzie nominees, which were also announced the other day, plus the winners of the Golden Globe and the SAG, and just kind of see where we're going. I mean, the Oscar nominations were a little surprising. There were a few unexpected quirks there, few snubs, couple of big surprises, and we'll get to those here in just a second. Thank you for being patient with this weekend, and I hope everybody saw the state of the site address on eCinemaOne. If you didn't, please go over and read it and take a look at it and see what we've got planned this year. And always take the time to come aboard our Patreon campaign. We need all the help we can get right now. We're trying to do some new equipment and trying to do a few new projects, and we'd appreciate if you come on board. Patreon.com/PNRNetworks. Without any further ado, let's get to the Academy Awards. The Academy was all over the road yesterday. I got to be home because I had a doctor's appointment later in the morning to watch the Oscar announcement for the first time in several years. And they didn't do it the way they normally do it. They usually have Cheryl Boone Isaacs, who's the current president of the Academy, and 2 or 3 celebrities out there reading the names. This year they pre-taped a bunch of stuff with former winners and nominees and had a voiceover person doing the voiceovers and presenting them on screen. Mm-hmm. People really wigged out, and I'm like, I really like this. It's so much easier. You get to hear these cool stories from these celebrities. Then you get the nominees. You can see them right on your screen, so you can take a look at them before the press kit comes out, which comes out about 15 minutes after the announcement's done, and you get to really look at all this stuff. So I got to sit down and analyze everything. It was kind of fun. Let's get into the acting categories to start off with those. Nominated for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role, the nominees are pretty expected all the way across the board by most people. Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea, Andrew Garfield, Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling, La La Land, Viggo Mortensen, Captain Fantastic, and Denzel Washington for Fences. We have to be totally honest, we have yet to see any of these. And we have screeners for 3 of them, so we'll be able to watch them for the independent screening.
Yep.
And I got to get them all watched before we do the Glitterious thing this weekend. But
nominate you and do the best actor.
These I think the front run. Andrew Garfield slipped in. He'd been mentioned a few times, but he wasn't necessarily a lock, and neither was Viggo until he got nominated at the SAG Awards.
Yeah. Considering he should have been nominated for all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Here we go.
But
I think Sean Astin deserved the nomination more than Viggo did. But anyway, Casey's probably going to be the winner. He's just receiving all kinds of praise for that role.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were really high on Ryan Gosling's performance in La La Land.
The La La Land is starting to have a backlash. We saw this really bitchy article in the New York Post today, which actually did mention that the reviewer over there thought that the Academy embarrassed themselves with the overwhelming number of nominations for a movie that does nothing but celebrate themselves.
Like, that's news.
I know. I've seen several people who have seen La La Land, and they really didn't care for it.
Yeah, I've been speaking with somebody on one of my online friends.
We're still trying to get there, so it's like, okay.
One of my online friends, and they said they saw it, and I was like, well, what was your opinion? And they were like, they just didn't like it. They really didn't.
They said it was the most depressing musical they'd ever seen. I'm like, okay, that's crazy.
And thank you so much, Academy, for proving how ballless and toothless you are for not nominating Ryan Reynolds for his performance in Deadpool.
Or Theo Taplitz for his role in Little Men, which I've been pushing from the beginning. So, have you got the same list up I have?
I have it from Wikipedia.
What's your next one?
Best Actress.
Okay, go ahead.
Best Actress, the nominees are Isabelle Huppert for Elle, or Ellie.
It's Elle.
Ruth Negga for Loving.
Woo-hoo!
Natalie Portman for Jackie. Emma Stone for La La Land. And Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins.
I have to admit, I was thrilled as hell to see Ruth Negga in here. She was in the also maybe possiblies. I love Ruth Negga. She is our #1 rising star in 2016 for the female side. Mm-hmm. Love her to death. And what I've seen of this film so far is just a mesmerizing film. I feel bad that Joel Edgerton got ignored, unfortunately, for that film. But Natalie seems to be the odds-on favorite, with Emma real close to her. But Isabelle Huppert did not receive a foreign film nomination, which blew everybody's mind. Isabelle won in Britain last week. Mm-hmm. So it's, and I believe she won a Critics' Choice or one of the other awards too, Golden Globe. So it's a tighter race than people believe. For performance by a supporting actor, the nominees are, here we go. Every year there's somebody in the nominees whose name it takes us weeks to finally figure out how to pronounce. There was Chiwetel Ejiofor. There has been Quivanjene Wallace, Saoirse Ronan, and this year, I finally got it, thank you, Oscar special, Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, Jeff Bridges, Hell or High Water, Lucas Hedges, Manchester by the Sea, Dev Patel, Lion, and Michael Shannon for Nocturnal Animals. Michael Shannon, perhaps the surprise there, since Aaron Taylor Johnson won supporting actor at the Golden Globes for that film. Dev Patel went supporting, even though he has the bigger part in Lion. The little kid, Sunny Pawar, they decided not to push him. They pushed him as lead and obviously didn't get in. But the odds on, Mahershala has won almost every supporting actor award there is. He's only missed out on 2 of them so far. And, I mean, his performance in Moonlight is said to be unbelievable. And I like him anyway. I've liked him in other films I've seen. So I can't, again, we've got a screener for these. We've got to sit down and watch them. But I'm betting he's probably going to be there on top when it comes to Oscar night.
Oh, I think so, too. Best Supporting Actress, the nominees are Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion, Octavia Spencer in Hidden Figures, and Michelle Williams in Manchester by the Sea.
Nicole Kidman was a shock to everybody because she has a good part in Lion, but Lion got a lot more love from the Oscars than people thought it would.
Yeah.
They thought maybe Dev Patel and the rest of them would probably sit it out. Naomi Harris, gravy. I have loved Naomi Harris since she starred in the 1990s revival of The Tomorrow People. Mm-hmm. She is fantastic in everything she does. Yep. Most people know her as Eve Moneypenny from the James Bond films. And it's like, I was so happy, especially after I read an interview with her about this and how scared she was of this role, because it's so different than anything she's ever done. So that's really cool. Going back up to the actress for a moment, one surprise, and perhaps it's where Ruth went in, no Amy Adams for Arrival. Arrival got 8 nominations overall, but not Amy, and I thought that was interesting. Amy's been nominated practically every year for the past decade, too, which is really amazing. Let me go down here to the next one. Nominees for Best Animated Feature. The nominees are Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, The Red Earth, and Zootopia. Interestingly enough, and despite what everybody said, what did I say?
You said Earth.
Oh, sorry, The Red Turtle. I'm sorry. Duh. I've been dying to see this film since Cannes, and I get it wrong.
The Red Earth?
The Red Turtle. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, we both want to see
that. Film looks amazing. Just the trailer has me in tears.
Oh, I know.
This is going to be difficult because there's huge contingents out there for 3 of these films. Mm-hmm. Kubo has a huge support group. Moana has a huge support group. And Zootopia has this crazy group of fanatics out there. Which probably means the Red Turtle will slip in and win. I don't know. We'll see.
I would laugh till I pissed my pants if that happened.
I want Kubo to win so bad. Kubo was just such a phenomenally good film. And the one thing that everybody's pointing out is there's no Pixar films nominated for the first time in a while. But they were wrong. Pixar did not get shut out. It was nominated for Best Animated Short Subject, which we'll get there in a minute.
Right.
But it's amazing since Finding Dory won Best Picture, not Animated Picture, Best Picture from the People's Choice Awards. Mm-hmm. That's really something.
Yep.
Achievement in Cinematography. The nominees are Arrival, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Silence. Each one of these films completely different from the other. Mm-hmm. It's going to be personal taste as to what the cinematographers group put in there as to whether or not they take off. Costume design, or what do you got next?
I was going to hit Best Foreign Language Film.
Let's do Foreign Language Film.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Best Foreign Language Film, Land of Mine from Denmark. A Man Called Ove from Sweden.
It is Ove.
Ove?
Yep.
It is Ove.
Ove.
Pardon.
I have to admit, that floored me.
What?
That it was nominated for Best Foreign Language Film.
I'm not surprised. I saw the trailer. I want to see this
movie.
The
reviews have been stellar.
I want to see this movie wicked bad.
Okay.
I should also bring up all of these films are in their native language.
That's foreign language film.
Well, yeah, I know. But just, they have it written out here. Well, one of these languages I never heard of. So,
right.
The Salesman, which is from Iran, and Tana, which is Australian, and in a language called Nauval.
It's part of an Aboriginal language, from what I understood.
Yeah. And finally, Tony Erdmann from Germany.
This one, like I said, Elle was expected to be a big contender here too, and if anything, Tana probably beat it out. Tana was an unexpected thing in there. Land of Mine has been getting great reviews. A Man Called Ove, which is a comedy. It's unusual for a comedy to get nominated here. But Tony Erdmann is a comedy too, a black comedy. Tony Erdmann won a ton of Cannes awards at Cannes last year and is the odds-on favorite. But as we know,
I was gonna say, if there's one thing
the foreign language category can be a bitch. Because, every time something will slip in and win unexpectedly. Departures in 2009 floored everybody, and it is a marvelous film. Go ahead, pick your next one.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, how about Best Original Screenplay?
Best Original Screenplay, go for it.
Okay, Best Original Screenplay. The nominees are 20th Century Women, written by Mike Mills. Hell or High Water, written by Taylor Sheridan. La La Land, written by Damien Chazelle. The Lobster, written by Yorgos Lanthimos. and Epiphanes Philippou, or Philippou. I don't know how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm screwing up these names.
Yeah.
And finally, Manchester by the Sea, written by Kenneth Lonergan.
This was interesting because the Writers Guild and the Oscars rarely match on original and adapted. Mm-hmm. Both Moonlight and Arrival, which are nominated for adapted screenplay here, are up for original screenplay at the Writers Guild. I don't quite understand. There's all these little rules in between that garner that. Because of that, some stuff got in here that nobody expected. I was hoping for Little Men. It was the one category where it was getting some buzz, and it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. But I think it's pretty much going to either be La La Land or Manchester, because the two of them are huge with all the audiences.
Yep.
For adapted screenplay, in addition to Arrival and Moonlight, the other nominees are Fences, August Wilson, who also wrote the play it's based on, Hidden Figures, screenplay by Alison Schneider and Theodore Malfi, I think it says, and Lion, screenplay by Luke Davies, another category Lion got into that nobody expected.
We should also bring up just real quick, Arrival is based on something called Story of Your Life, written by Ted Chiang.
Oh, maybe that's why it was. Maybe that wasn't the one that was up for. There was two movies that were voted that couldn't be original with the. No, it was Florence Foster Jenkins. That was what it was.
And Moonlight is based on In Moonlight, Black Boys Look Blue by Terrell Alvin McCraney.
Yeah, there's going to be some interesting stuff, because the screenplays are always one of those categories that you don't know where it's going to go. It depends on how people really looked at the script and how well it was. Let me jump back to costume design. The nominees for costume design this year: Allied, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Florence Foster Jenkins, Jackie, and La La Land. Costume design has almost a history of going with period pieces. Mm-hmm. Not always, but most of the time.
And not always the right period pieces, Curse of the Golden Flower.
Yeah, which means that Florence Foster Jenkins and Jackie probably have, and maybe Fantastic Beasts have a foot ahead of Allied and... Allied's a period piece too, isn't it?
Yeah, World War II. Yeah.
And La La Land's current. But Jackie's got the look. I mean, do you see it looks like Camelot.
Yeah.
Directing, Best Director this year, nominees are Denis Villeneuve for Arrival, Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge, Damien Chazelle for La La Land, Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by the Sea, and Barry Jenkins for Moonlight. So, has Hollywood forgiven Mel, finally? 2 major awards, 3 major nominations. It's also up for Best Picture. And he's won that award before with Braveheart about 20 years ago.
Yep. To be honest, I think that people have finally... Yeah, I do. The short answer to that question is yes. I think they have.
But does he have enough oomph to kick Barry Jenkins or Kenneth Lonergan or Damien Chazelle to the curb? I don't know.
I'm going to give another short answer. No.
Yeah.
Best visual effects. I'll take that one if you wouldn't mind. Best
We're going to end up forgetting something because we're going all over the road, but that's okay.
Best special effects. The nominees are Deepwater Horizon, Doctor Strange. Yay! Sorry. The Jungle Book, Kubo and the Two Strings. Yay! And Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Yay!
I have to be totally honest. All 5 of these films are really deserving nominees. There's so many. Sometimes you'll get something in visual effects and you'll go, what the hell are they doing? Where did this come from?
Right.
There's so much incredible blue screen work on Deepwater Horizon that they really do look like that they're right there.
Right.
The Jungle Book was phenomenal. I mean, when you consider that this kid, 10-year-old Neil Sethi, who'd never acted before, acted in this movie in front of a tennis ball through the entire film.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, holy cow. And Rogue One, terrific special effects. The same with Doctor Strange. Kubo is interesting.
Yeah, Kubo's very interesting
and
to
Kubo,
me.
I don't recall ever seeing an animated film in this category, and the reason it is because it's a stop-motion animated film, and it's like some of the effects are layered. They do all kinds of crazy stuff in this film. And I mean, that one took me by surprise, but it was very nice to see. What's next?
Next up is Best Film Editing.
Editing.
And Best Film Editing, the nominees are Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, La La Land, and Moonlight.
All the same stuff that
Yep.
they've had for everything else.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to go to the sound categories.
Okay.
Achievements in sound editing. The nominees are Arrival, Deepwater Horizon, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, and Sully. Sully's only nomination.
Mhm.
The nominees for sound mixing: Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Mhm.
What an interesting film to throw in there.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
mean,
know.
that was a bomb. It got horrible reviews, and yet, people, obviously, the sound people loved it.
Yep. Going on through the music categories, Best Original Score. The nominees are Jackie, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Passengers. And
It should be interesting to note that Thomas Newman, this is his 14th nomination. Thomas Newman, who started off as a punk rocker with a band called The Innocents back in the 1980s. I have the album, I know, back when he was Tommy Newman. Has not yet won an Oscar, and he's nominated for a movie which didn't do well at the box office, did not do well with the critics, did not do well with the Academy, except in the technical categories. And I'd like to see that happen. But everybody so far has been raving in this category, not about La La Land, but about Jackie. Micah Levy's, I'm not familiar with him, but he's won tons of the critics groups awards for this soundtrack, and I'm like, wow. I'm sorry, go ahead. Best Original...
Best Original Song.
Nothing that
And
was...
boy, are we going to have a talk about this one.
Oh, yes.
Best Original Song, the nominees are Audition, The Fools Who Dream from La La Land, Can't Stop the Feeling from Trolls, City of Stars from La La Land, The Empty Chair from Jim, the James Foley Story, and How Far I'll Go from Moana.
Okay, so...
What the actual hell?
Where is Sing Street? Where's Drive It Like You Stole It, at least, or maybe even a couple of the other songs? I'm not happy with this category at all this year.
Where's Try Anything from Zootopia?
Try Anything from Zootopia and Something Wild from Pete's Dragon. Lindsey Sterling and Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness. Fantastic
Seriously,
stuff.
What the hell?
And you guys put in what is possibly the worst song Justin Timberlake has ever written, that piece of crap from Trolls. I know it's all over the radio.
Considering how much you hate Sexy Back, that's really saying a lot.
Well, I hate Sexy Back. I like Justin's first solo album, the one with Cry Me a River. That had good stuff on it. Since then, he hasn't done crap what I've liked. And I don't like that song. I know it's a hit, but The Empty Chair is interesting. Jay Ralph, the co-writer of this with Sting from The Police, obviously, has been nominated in this category 3 times in the past decade for movies from documentaries he's done and that nobody's seen, and except the Academy. This is from Jim, the James Foley Story, which is on HBO, the HBO documentary film.
Yes.
And I've actually heard the song is very good. I haven't heard the song, but it's very good on that way. You expected at least one song and maybe 2 to get through from La La Land. Fine.
Yeah, but 2 songs?
Yeah.
F you. That's just greedy.
And well, Enchanted had 3 up, remember? How Far I'll Go, I like that song, but I would have rather seen You're Welcome nominated.
I would have rather seen You're Welcome,
You're
too.
Welcome is a much better song than...
If for nothing else, just to see Dwayne Johnson perform it at the Academy Awards. Because that would be awesome.
Well, How Far I'll Go won't be done by the lady from the movie.
No, I know.
The single hit is by another artist. I can't remember who's got it out, but...
at the risk of sounding petty, I don't care. I'm still pissed off at the Academy since A Love Before Time got screwed.
Oh, gee, that's 17 years ago?
So
holy cow.
Dial 1-800-BITE ME.
But we did get into the West.
Yes, we did.
So we have to... That was something we wanted and we got. So we have to give them that a little bit. Let's see, what else we got? For animated short film, the nominees are Blind Vasha, Borrowed Time, Pear Cider and Cigarettes, Pearl, and Piper. The shorts are always interesting, and I like the fact that since about the year 2000, the Academy has made them available on pay-per-view every year through on-demand. And we've gotten to see all of them except the Disney ones, because the Disney ones, we see those in the theater anyway. So they don't ever show it. Although this year, They did last year. They did include Paperman a couple years ago.
I love that one.
Which is an adorable film that opened Finding Dory, is hilarious.
It's so cute. I squeezed through that entire short film.
A lot of the talk has been coming from this film called Pear Cider and Cigarettes. I don't even know what it is. I've seen a picture of it when it was on the short list. I went out and looked up some of the titles, and I'm still pissed about short film a couple years ago. I'm going to be pissed about short film a couple years ago because I fell in love with Farrell and it got completely screwed. And it was like, okay. For Best Live Action Short Film, the nominees are Intimes Intérieurs, La Film et la TV, Silent Nights, Sing, and Time Code. I don't know what any of them are.
Me neither.
And again, they'll be a part of the shorts festivals when they come out.
Yep. Best Documentary Feature Film. The nominees are Fire at Sea, I Am Not Your Negro, Life Animated, OJ Made in America, and 13th.
Now, this is an interesting one. Everybody's freaking out about Wiener not being nominated. And I'm like, okay, you got a movie about a scummy politician who got caught up in a sex scandal.
Caught with his pants down, literally.
Resigned, ran for mayor, got caught sexting with a teenager. Why would you give this movie an Oscar?
And talk about rewarding.
Oh my God! But by the same token, OJ Made in America, which has won about a third of the Documentary Critics Awards so far, is a 6-hour miniseries produced for ESPN. Why is it getting an Oscar nomination?
I don't know.
I don't understand
that.
That
doesn't make
and
any
it left
sense.
a lot of good. There's a lot of good docs it left off, including the exclusion again of Alex Gibney and his 0 Days. Alex keeps getting screwed by the Academy every time. I'm betting on 13th. It's Ava DuVernay's first nomination as a director. It's currently on Netflix. It's about problems with women's prisons right now, and it's supposed to be really fantastic. I personally would like to see Life Animated win, which is a heartwarming film about how Disney animation helped a young autistic man deal with life.
Yep.
And I would love to see that do something.
Best Documentary Short Subject. And I will admit, I haven't seen any of these.
No, we probably, again, they'll be part of the shorts thing.
The nominees are Extremis, 4.1 Miles, Joe's Violin, Watani, My Homeland, and The White Helmets.
We should point out both Extremis and The White Helmets are available for viewing on Netflix if you want to check them out. I don't know what we're going to see there, but it should be interesting. I think the only major category we have left is the, besides Best Picture, is Makeup and Hairstyling, I think.
And
nominated for Makeup and Hairstyling, A Man Called Ove, Star Trek Beyond, and Suicide Squad. Really? Makeup and hairstyling? Makeup, okay. Hairstyling? Where are you finding hair to style in either Star Trek or Suicide Squad? Unless you're counting that ridiculous look that Harley Quinn has.
It's not ridiculous. I like it.
I know.
We did skip one.
Oh, yeah?
Best Production Design.
Okay, go ahead.
The nominees are Arrival.
Oh, yeah, I was surprised. I should have known that because that was one of the ones that surprised me.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Woohoo! Hail Caesar, La La Land again, and I'm sorry, did that come off?
Yes.
There?
Anyway,
and Passengers.
Hail Caesar surprised the hell out of me when that popped up because we both enjoyed that movie. It was funny for a Coen Brothers film. It was damn funny, and I was a bit surprised to see it in there. I figured it would probably go.
Production design is that like sets?
It's the sets and the way things look and how it is designed to look as a whole. And considering
the fact that you had that one scene in Hail Caesar, the submarine.
Yeah,
I mean, that was really well done.
But you had a lot.
Like
I was expecting.
Was,
I thought Hidden Figures would be here because of all the NASA stuff, and I'm like that.
I'm
surprised
happy
me.
Fantastic Beasts is there because that's awesome.
Yeah. This is the big one, and if we've skipped anything, we apologize.
No, I think we got
nominees for Best Picture: Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water. That one surprised me. Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. It is possible to have anywhere between 5 and 10 nominees. There are 9 this year. And everybody keeps bitching, oh, they need to go back to 5. Oh, they need to just make it 10. No, I like this. It makes a surprise.
Well,
I got to admit, Hell or High Water's had great critical reviews all year. But I did not expect it. And I also didn't expect Lion to get in there.
No, I didn't either.
Both of those. The rest of them are pretty expected, and they'd been talked about for quite a while. La La Land overall led the nominations with 14, tying it for the all-time nomination record with All About Eve and Titanic. What? Is this even that on that par? I don't know. I really don't know.
Considering the fact that I've heard a lot of people say that it's not.
It's not. Yeah, several people.
I'd just like to point out, just because I have to and I can, it's our show, that, I mean, it's a good list, I guess. Fine. Except for the fact that there's no Rogue One on it. I'm sorry.
Rogue One, I would have loved to have seen get Best Picture, but I would have really loved. Well, there is some controversy happening because remember a few minutes ago we were talking about animated films.
Right.
The Zootopia fanatics were absolutely positive Zootopia was going to get a Best Original Screenplay nomination and a Best Picture nomination. It got neither. They're not happy. Oh, they are not happy.
Well, deal.
And I'm like, Zootopia is a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. Loved the DMV jokes. And everything was just great. But Kubo and Moana are both better. And I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Finding Dory.
To quote a great man once said, you can't always get what you want.
Thank you, Mick Jagger.
Well, you know.
But that was the big surprise there. The Academy Awards will be handed out on Sunday, February 26, 2017, and we will have on Monday, February 27th, our complete rundown of awards weekend, which will include coverage of the Spirit Awards, the Razzies, and the Oscars, and it will be up Monday around 9 o'clock in the evening with our commentary on all the speeches, whatever comes from them, and it's going to be rough to sit through this year. Because it's all going to be politicized. It's just been that way for the last year and a half. Everything's politicized now. We can't just go up and say, we hope you loved our movie. I would love it if they could do that. Not happening if the Golden Globes are any indication. And everything is interesting. Speaking of Globes, we'll have those in a few minutes. But when we come back, the Razzie nominations for 2017.
When Subject Cinema returns.
No film is too good or too bad for us. This is Subject Cinema.
In a world where podcasts already seem to address every imaginable subject, one man broke new ground with a seemingly random obsession about exploding helicopters in movies. He was a podcaster on the edge, a maverick broadcaster who played by his own rules. Now, he has a last chance to talk about the strange way helicopters explode in film. Exploding Helicopter, available on iTunes and Podomatic now. Think you know about chopper fireballs? Think again.
All movies, all the time. Subject Cinema.
Welcome back to Subject Cinema. It's our red carpet special this week where we're looking at Oscars and Razzies and anything else we can think of that has to do with awards. I'm Kim Brown.
I'm T.C. Kirkham, and the 2016 Razzie nominations are out. Well, they're for movies in 2016. They're the 2017 nominations.
Yes, the Golden Raspberry Awards.
And we need to talk about this whole concept at this point because it has gone beyond. And we're not the first person to bring it up. I noticed a lot of people have brought it up over the last couple of years. They're not really going for the worst film. They're going for the worst film that will make them cool.
Yeah.
And it's kind of stupid. I mean, these people pay $50 a year to be a part of this group. And I'm sorry, I would have pulled out years ago. Because, I mean, at first it was all the Twilight films. And first, those were not great films, but there were plenty that were worse.
Yep.
The Future comes to mind. And there's, I don't know. Anyway, Razzies are always fun. And in the last few years, it's been intensely interesting when celebrities have shown up to pick up their awards.
Yep.
Including Sandra Bullock and Halle Berry.
Yep.
So this is both of whom are Oscar winners.
Yep.
So it's like, okay. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about the Razzies here?
Okay, you mean the
start
noms?
the noms.
Alrighty.
Nom.
The nominees for Worst Picture of 2016. The nominees are Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Bullshit!
Dirty Grandpa, Gods of Egypt, Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party, Independence Day Resurgence, and Zoolander 2.
Have you noticed that they've always gone out of their way to nominate all of Dinesh D'Souza's Democrat documentaries? This is the second time that Obama's 2014 or 2012 or whatever was up last time when it came out. Too.
I don't think this is a documentary.
Yeah, it is. Trust me, it is. It's from Dinesh D'Souza. It is a documentary.
All right.
So it's a docudrama thingy. It's like what you see on the History Channel.
Right. Okay.
So it's like.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, okay.
I'm sorry. Until you sent me the nominations, I'm like, what is this movie about? What? I'm like, I've never heard of this movie.
What, Hillary's America?
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
Nobody's really surprised Zoolander number 2 is on here because it got horrible reviews. But I don't care what the critics say. You know, when you have an 83% thumbs up from Rotten Tomatoes for Batman vs. Superman, this is strictly the critics and the fanboys that are just like so upset that Zack Snyder is changing what they want. Yeah. You know, it's a good film. I'm sorry.
It was
Anybody
fun.
Who doesn't like it is wrong.
It was fun. It was enjoyable, and for the first time in my entire life, I found Ben Affleck sexy. So, if for nothing else, it should get an award for that.
Ironically, for Worst Actor, the nominees are Ben Affleck, Batman vs. Superman, Gerard Butler, Gods of Egypt and London Has Fallen, Henry Cavill, Batman vs. Superman, Robert De Niro, a Dirty Grandpa, Dinesh D'Souza as himself, Hillary's America, and Ben Stiller, Zoolander 2. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm scared about Bob De Niro. I really am. The man is like losing his marbles.
I'm scared he'll show up.
Where does he find that? Where does he do these movies? I mean, sometimes I can understand, you know, he is truly one of the elder statesmen of Hollywood at this point. He is a legend. And I mean, he has won an Academy Award. He's won all these other things and accolades out the wazoo. And you actually take a movie like Dirty Grandpa? Ew! I mean, Grudge Match was bad enough, but at least it was fun. And the only time I've liked Stallone in a long time. But, dirty ick. Oh, wow. And I'm not even going to talk. I like Ben Affleck. I like Henry Cavill. I like Gerard Butler normally, but these two movies I've heard are terrible. So it's like, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not... Okay. At the risk of sounding even remotely politically correct, which goodness knows I try not to do ever, but I'm sorry. Set, which is the character that Gerard Butler played in Gods of Egypt, Set, who was the Egyptian god of evil in the Egyptian pantheon, should have possibly, maybe, I don't know, been played by somebody
who looked Egyptian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or who was Egyptian. Or could pass for Egyptian. Not some white dude with a British accent.
Whitewashing.
That's just embarrassing.
Righty. Worst actress?
Worst actress, the nominees are Megan Fox for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, Tyler Perry for Boo, a Medea Halloween.
They also have a track record for hating the Tyler Perry Medea movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'm sure he cries himself to sleep
I know.
His bed full of money every night.
Because it was number one for, 3 weeks?
Something like that.
Oh, my God. That man has a gold mine in that ridiculous character, I swear.
Julia Roberts for Mother's Day, Rebecca Turner for Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, she was playing Hillary on screen, even though she didn't really play Hillary. She was like just reading stuff, but anyway.
Isn't that what actors do?
No, I mean she was reading actual dialogue that Hillary had done.
Right.
It wasn't I think that's at least I didn't see it. So anyway,
Naomi Watts for the Divergent series Allegiant and Shut In, and Shailene Woodley for the Divergent series Allegiant.
Yeah, so there's not really. I mean, those movies were all bombs for the most part, except Medea, and they just hate Tyler Perry because he's successful at what he does. Mm-hmm. The Medea character, while one of the most ridiculous characters on the planet, when the writing is good, he is killingly funny in that character. Huh. The problem is the writing hasn't been good in those movies for about a decade, so I don't know. Worst supporting actress: Julianne Hough for Dirty Grandpa, Kate Hudson for Mother's Day, Aubrey Plaza for Dirty Grandpa, Jane Seymour for 50 Shades of Black, Cella Ward for Independence Day Resurgence, and Kristen Wiig for Zoolander #2. Kristen should have known better. I love Kristen. She's awesome, but...
Worst supporting actor. The nominees are Nicolas Cage for Snowden. I didn't even know he was in Snowden. Johnny Depp for Alice Through the Looking Glass. Jesse Eisenberg for Batman vs. Superman.
You missed one.
What?
Johnny Depp. Next is... Or do you have it? Because I have Will Ferrell next.
He's after Jesse Eisenberg on my list.
Okay.
Jesse Eisenberg for Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Will Ferrell for Zoolander 2. Jared Leto for Suicide Squad. And Owen Wilson for Zoolander 2.
Since I sent you the list, how is he possibly... Did you rearrange them?
I'm looking at I'm still on Wikipedia.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why.
Well.
Then. Again... They have a history of hating Nicolas Cage and Johnny Depp. They nominate them for everything, even when the movies are huge. So, take that with a grain of salt. And there was nothing wrong with Jared Leto as the Joker in Suicide Squad. I think their problem with him here is that there wasn't enough of him. Because they sold it as a Joker movie, basically. And he was in, 7 minutes of the movie? Worst screen combo. Nominees, Ben Affleck and his BFF buddy Henry Cavill for... Batman vs. Superman. Any two Egyptian gods or mortals in Gods of Egypt.
Can't they just say the cast? I mean, wouldn't that have just made sense?
Johnny Depp and his vomitously vibrant costume from Alice Through the Looking Glass. The entire cast of once respected actors for Collateral Beauty. That would be Will Smith and who else?
Will Smith, Keira Knightley, Helen Mirren.
And,
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah. Tyler Perry and that same worn-out wig for Boo, A Medea Halloween, and Ben Stiller and his barely funny friend, Owen Wilson, for Zoolander 2. Oh, Baddest Foe Forever is what the Henry Cavill BFF stood for.
Yeah. Worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel. The nominees are Alice Through the Looking Glass, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, 50 Shades of Black, Independence Day Resurgence, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows, and Zoolander 2.
I'm just trying to think. How come London is Falling isn't on this list? You would think that was on here from all the
other than the one
nominee. and Boo, Medea. Where's Medea here? Instead, no, they put Batman vs. Superman in there for just.
Well, they have to fill their quota.
Right, that's what I mean. For where was I? Because that skipped the one I was doing. For worst director, the nominees Dinesh D'Souza and Bruce Schooley for Hillary's America, Roland Emmerich for Independence Day Resurgence, Tyler Perry for Boo, A Medea Halloween, Alex Proyas for Gods of Egypt, Zack Snyder, Batman vs. Superman, and Ben Stiller, Zoolander 2. I think we'll pretty much know that's going to go to either Tyler Perry or Ben Stiller at this point.
And finally, worst screenplay. The nominees are, guess what? Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, Dirty Grandpa, Gods of Egypt, Hillary's America, The Secret History of the Democratic Party, Independence Day Resurgence, and Suicide Squad.
Seriously, let's think about these for a minute. Are there movies that are more deserving of Razzies than some of these? Because, I mean, we both enjoyed Batman vs. Superman. I know there's a lot of people out there that didn't like it, but it still has a huge rating and on Rotten Tomatoes and a fairly decent Metacritic score. And are there things here that we saw that we could honestly say were worse than some of these? Because I think there are. I can't think of what they are at this top of my head.
I mean, we saw mostly excellent movies this year.
They had some great movies in 2016, and there were a few clunkers, but not as bad as normal.
No, I can't. I mean, I can't really think of anything that I was like. No, I tell a lie. There's one. I think that if I would actually bring up a movie that I saw, I would bring up a Kind of Murder from...
Yeah, you reviewed that earlier this month. It came out in December on demand. Big Patrick Wilson, good people in it, too.
Oh, it had terrific people, and it was written, it was based on a story by Patricia Highsmith, a very talented author, but this movie was just, so dull and dark, and the end of it, I was like, that's the end. F you, movie! Seriously.
Okay. So the Razzies will be handed out on the day before the Oscars, between the Spirits, which Spirits are in the afternoon on the big tent on Santa Monica Beach. And then that evening, they move to the Razzie wherever they held. I think they'll hold them at the Beverly Glen Theater, if I'm not mistaken. That's usually where they are. And then, of course, the big ones on the Sunday. When we come back, we'll go back and talk about the awards that have come out in the last few weeks that we have not yet talked about, the Golden Globes, the People's Choice Awards, and the SAG Awards, and that's coming up
when Subject Cinema returns.
Real movies for real people. Subject Cinema.
His movies.
Way to go, Charlie!
I think it rips through your clothes when it takes you over.
More human than human is our motto.
He tasks me, and I shall have him.
Her movies.
The hills are alive.
You're so jealous you can hardly breathe.
The rum!
Yes, the rum is gone.
Why is the rum gone?
Suddenly my life doesn't seem such a waste.
Fuzzy Fur Movies. The Cavebabble Podcast. We babble about the movies you love.
And probably a few that you love to hate.
Find out more at cavebabble.com. Also available on iTunes, Stitcher, and by Smoke Signal. C-A-V-E. Babble. Cavebabble.com. Movies for him, her, and you.
If you're looking for great films, well, that's okay. You'll like us anyway. Subject Cinema.
Welcome back to this red carpet edition of Subject Cinema. I'm T.C. Kirkham.
Hi, I'm Kim Brown.
Subject Cinema number 554, January 25th, 2017. It's a Wednesday.
It is.
And a little bit later on the show, we got a little announcement to make, and we covered the Oscar nominations and the Razzie nominations. We gave the Spirit Award nominations a few weeks ago. Those will also be coming up that weekend. Over the past couple of weeks, though, there have been major award ceremonies already. And the one that everybody loves is the one the people get to pick. The People's Choice Awards. Mm-hmm. And you were very pleased with the People's Choice Awards this year.
The People's Choice Awards were held on January 18th, 2017. And they were for favorite choices
a week ago tonight, actually.
Movies, television, and music. And I'm going to read you off the winners right now. In the movie category, favorite movie, Finding Dory. Favorite action movie, Deadpool. Favorite comedic movie, Bad Moms. Favorite dramatic movie, Me Before You. Favorite movie actor, Ryan Reynolds. Favorite movie actress, Jennifer Lawrence. Favorite action movie actor, Robert Downey Jr. Favorite action movie actress, Margot Robbie. Favorite comedic movie actor, Kevin Hart. Favorite comedic movie actress, Melissa McCarthy. Favorite dramatic movie actor, Tom Hanks. Favorite dramatic movie actress, Blake Lively. Favorite animated movie voice, Ellen DeGeneres as Dory in Finding Dory. Favorite family movie, Finding Dory. Favorite thriller movie, The Girl on the Train. Favorite movie icon, Johnny Depp. And favorite year-end blockbuster, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
No, that entire list except for the very last title, not one single Oscar nomination. Mm-mm. This shows the disparity between the people and the Academy.
Yep.
And the critics.
Uh-huh. That's true.
I mean, it really does. Fantastic Beasts, I'm surprised didn't get more People's Choice nominations.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Anyway. Television.
In the television category.
We'll skip the music. We don't really care about the music. Just the TV.
Yep.
Because only the TV because you have to. It's your category.
Yes. Favorite TV show, Outlander. Favorite network TV comedy, The Big Bang Theory. Favorite network TV drama, Grey's Anatomy. Favorite network TV sci-fi fantasy series, Supernatural. Just a minute. Woohoo! Sorry. Got a little excited there. Favorite cable sci-fi fantasy show, The Walking Dead. Yeah. Favorite TV crime drama, Criminal Minds. Favorite comedic TV actor, Jim Parsons. Favorite comedic TV actress, Sofia Vergara. Favorite dramatic TV actor, Justin Chambers. Favorite dramatic TV actress, Priyanka Chopra. Favorite TV crime drama actor, Mark Harmon. Favorite TV crime drama actress, Jennifer Lopez. Favorite favorite cable TV comedy. Sorry about that. Baby Daddy. Favorite cable TV drama, Bates Motel. Favorite cable TV actor, Freddie Highmore. Favorite cable TV actress, Vera Farmiga. Sorry. Favorite premium drama series, Orange is the New Black. Favorite premium comedy series, Fuller House. Favorite premium sci-fi fantasy series, Outlander. Favorite premium series actor, Dwayne Johnson. Favorite premium series actress, Sarah Jessica Parker. Favorite sci-fi fantasy TV actor, Sam Heughan. Favorite sci-fi fantasy TV actress, I'm going to screw this up, Catriona Balfe. I hope I was even remotely close.
Okay.
Favorite competition TV show, The Voice. Favorite daytime TV host, Ellen DeGeneres. Favorite daytime talk show hosting team, Good Morning America. Favorite late night talk show host, Jimmy Fallon. Favorite actor in a new TV series, Matt LeBlanc. Favorite actress in a new TV series, Kristen Bell. Favorite animated TV show, The Simpsons. Favorite new TV comedy, Man with a Plan. And favorite new TV drama, This Is Us.
Is that even still on the air, that show with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson that they overhyped during the Olympics?
The Good Place?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't even know either. I'm like, okay. There's some real... there's too many TV awards. For one thing, cable and premium, if you don't know the difference, cable is basic cable shows. Premium is streaming shows from Netflix and Amazon plus HBO and all those networks. So the pay networks. So that's the People's Choice Awards. And there were some music winners too, but we really don't need to go over those. For the Golden Globes this year, I don't think there was any major surprises that really popped out at anybody except supporting actor, which we'll get to in a minute. But they divide, of course, into drama and musical or comedy. So everybody gets a little bit of the love from them. For Best Motion Picture Drama was Moonlight. Best Actress Drama, Isabelle Huppert for Elle. Best Actor Drama, Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea. Motion Picture Comedy or Musical, La La Land. Actress Comedy or Musical, Emma Stone, La La Land. Best Actor by Lead Actor Musical or Comedy Television Series, Donald Glover for Atlanta. Best Director Motion Picture, which is both categories, Damien Chazelle, La La Land. Best TV Series Drama, The Crown from Netflix. Best Performance by an Actress in a Drama TV Series, Claire Foy, The Crown. The Clown? Oh, I'm so sorry. That has so many fans out there. I'm so sorry. Best Performance by an Actor in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. Can you just say miniseries or TV movie like the Emmys do? Honestly. Tom Hiddleston for The Night Manager. For Best Motion Picture Foreign Language, the winner was Elle from France. Animated Motion Picture, Zootopia. Motion Picture Screenplay, Damien Chazelle, La La Land. Lead Actor, Motion Picture Musical or Comedy, Ryan Gosling, La La Land. Best Performance in a Supporting Role by an Actress, Limited Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television, Olivia Colman for The Night Manager. Best Actress Supporting Role in any Motion Picture, Viola Davis, Fences. Best Original Song, City of Stars, La La Land. Best Original Score, Justin Hurwitz, La La Land. Best Actor, Supporting Role, Limited Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television, Hugh Laurie, The Night Manager. They loved that miniseries, didn't they? TV Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. And here we go. Best Television Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television. Oh, that's a different category. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story. I was thinking it was that O.J. Made in America. Sorry. Best Performance by an Actress in a Limited Series or Motion Picture Made for Television, Sarah Paulson for The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story. Best TV Series, Musical or Comedy, Atlanta. Best Actress by a Lead Actress, Television Series, Musical or Comedy, Tracy Ellis Ross for Blackish. For Best Performance by an Actor in a Television Series Drama, Billy Bob Thornton for Goliath, and Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role Motion Picture, Aaron Taylor Johnson for Nocturnal Animals. This year, and the Cecil B. DeMille Award, which is a Lifetime Achievement Award, went to Meryl Streep. This is the first year in several years I actually just did not bother to sit through the Globes. I'm like, usually I'll sit there and I'll watch, particularly when Ricky Gervais is hosting, because you never know what's going to come out of that man. Mm-hmm. He's a scary dude when he's hosting award shows. I enjoyed the 2 years that Tina Fey and Amy Poehler hosted him too. I was like, okay. But I guess Fallon just bored the crap out of everybody on that. And yet NBC's like, oh yeah, we want him back next year. He was great. So, I can't say that there's any big surprises here. I've not heard of much of the TV shows because we don't watch much TV, in all honesty, do we anymore? We used to watch TV all the time, and now we watch Supernatural. You watch Supernatural. We binge when we get a chance, Flash and the superhero shows and the Netflix shows, and a few shows on Netflix, like Danger Mouse, the new version of Danger Mouse.
Well, you love like the Pioneer Woman.
I'm a cooking show fanatic. Barefoot Contessa, Pioneer Woman, Mythbusters when it was on, and America's Test Kitchen and Cook's Country. Yeah. So that's about all we watch. We don't really watch any of the. You watch endless repeats of Law and Order and Special Victims Unit. Yeah. And Criminal Intent if it's on because Vincent D'Onofrio's in it.
Because Vincent D'Onofrio.
It's interesting now.
I can't help it. I'm a creature of habit.
Can you see if you can pull up the Screen Actors Guild Awards?
Yep.
Okay, and then of course this weekend, the Screen Actors Guild Awards are coming up.
Yep.
The Screen Actors Guild. I've often not understood why the Screen Actors Guild give their own awards when they're also the primary voters in the Academy.
I don't get it either.
But they're
more chances to pat themselves on the back and
pretty
say how
much
wonderful they are.
Can you run down the nominees? Because there's not very many in this, and we'll just keep this with the movies. We won't do the TV here.
Okie doke. The nominees for films in the Screen Actors Guild Award. I'm sorry. I've been talking all day at work, and my mouth is tired.
Yep.
Outstanding performance by a male actor in a leading role. The nominees are Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea; Andrew Garfield, Hacksaw Ridge; Ryan Gosling, La La Land; Viggo Mortensen, Captain Fantastic; and Denzel Washington for Fences.
All 5 of those people also nominated for Oscars this week.
Yep.
Next.
Outstanding performance by a female actor in a leading role. Okay, before we go
Let's
further,
not. We've talked about this over and over, year after year. The female actor stuff is just stupid. Will you please stop doing it? Anyway, actress.
The nominees are Amy Adams for Arrival, Emily Blunt, The Girl on the Train, Natalie Portman for Jackie, Emma Stone for La La Land, and Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins.
So there's 2 big changes there. No Ruth Negga and no Isabelle Huppert.
Mm-hmm. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role. The nominees are Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, and if I mess that up, sir,
Mahershala. Get it? Roll off the tongue. Mahershala. Okay. Mahershala. Say it again. Mahershala.
Mahershala. We really don't need a training exercise.
We're not trying to make fun of your name, sir. We both think you are one of the best actors on the planet. But it's just really... There's always something that looks kind of askew. Mahershala Ali. Okay.
Fine. Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water. Hugh Grant for Florence Foster Jenkins. Lucas Hedges for Manchester by the Sea, and Dev Patel for Lion.
Hugh missing from the Oscar nominations. Yeah. Many people thought he would get one. He was really good in that film.
He was.
He was excellent.
Outstanding performance by a female actor in a supporting role.
Okay, that's all. Never mind.
PC police can suck it. Now that's all.
Can I ask a question? I'm gonna piss people off out here. We had this big women's rights thing going on all weekend long on a whole bunch of different places. There were all these protests here in Boston. There was in Washington, D.C., and Sundance Film Festival, everywhere else. And the whole thing is about equality. If you want equality, why are you calling yourselves a female actor? Isn't that subjugating yourself to the masculine form of the word? Seriously, honest to goodness question. Give me an honest to goodness answer why you cannot be an actress. Okay, I've had my piece. Go ahead.
The nominees are Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris, Moonlight. Nicole Kidman for Lion. Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, and Michelle Williams, Manchester by the Sea.
So the lead actor and the supporting actress match exactly with the Oscars. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Okay. And Best Ensemble, which is usually considered a harbinger for the Best Picture nomination. Uh-huh. What's up for that?
You'll forgive me if I don't read everybody's name.
No, just the films.
Okay. The nominees for Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. That just sounds so awkward. Captain Fantastic, Fences, Hidden Figures, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. And there is one more category, by the way. Outstanding Performance by a Stunt Ensemble in a Motion Picture. In other words, this is the only place you're going to find the good movies.
That's not nice. Come on. Those other movies are fine.
Oh, I know. Let me put it another way. In other words, this is the only place you're going to find the movies that, regular people watch. The nominees are...
The blockbuster.
Yeah. The nominees are Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Hacksaw Ridge, Jason Bourne, and Nocturnal Animals.
I thought you said people saw those. Nobody saw Jason Bourne. It was a bomb. Okay, anyway. So was the girl on the train.
A lot of people saw Civil War, and a lot of people saw Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So those are interesting nominations, and the fact that they match exactly in the acting, male actor. Excuse me, isn't that redundant? Isn't that like Mr. Yamaguchi-san from WWE? Male actor.
I know. You're not wrong.
Oh my God! What is this world coming to? I bet there are English teachers all over the country and grammar teachers all over the country that just want to slap the Screen Actors Guild every time their nominations come out. Anyway, this is going to be handed out this Sunday. We won't be watching. We'll be watching the Royal Rumble, but it's always one of our...
Because priorities.
Well, I still enjoy the Big Five, and you watch way more wrestling than I do anymore. I used to love it, but it's...
Because priorities.
I like the big ones. And besides, it's Lesnar and Goldberg in the same room. That'll be fun. And because, after Survivor Series, that'll be a riot.
And because Roman Reigns. Call me.
Whatever. Anyway... Those will be out this weekend, and we'll have full rundowns on them on Subject Cinema in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And so it should be plenty of fun. Yep. There are tons more awards coming out. The guilds have all announced, and we'll go over those in the next few weeks. We'll also go over the winners on the upcoming awards, like the SAGs and stuff. And, of course, the Oscars, as I said. Spirits, Razzies, Oscars on our annual Oscar special the Monday after Oscar night. And we run down the winners. We give you the fashion sense. We give you how idiotic the interviewers looked on the red carpet, and a lot more. And that'll be coming up shortly. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about a brand new show coming up.
Mm-hmm. When Subject Cinema returns.
Real movies for real people. Subject Cinema.
Check out the Blueprint Review podcast at blueprintreview.co.uk. This could be interesting because I know we've got some very diverse people. I'm going to be arguing with Darren a lot.
I think it's going to be me v you lot with Debbie Law sat in the middle.
To be honest, I think it's about expectation.
Yeah.
Like, I think...
Yeah, I expected it to
Welcome to the soundtrack of your life. You're listening to Subject Cinema with TC Kirkham and Kim Brown.
We're glad you're joining us for our Red Carpet special this week on Subject Cinema. I'm Kim Brown.
I'm TC Kirkham. We want to remind you also that this coming Sunday, day and date, January 29th, is our 11th annual Film Festival show, one of our most listened to shows every year. We will run down all of the festival hits from Sundance, Slamdance, Santa Barbara, Palm Springs, Victoria, Big Sky documentary, and Berlin Ale. I think there's one more in there too, but I can't remember what it is. We'll have our picks, the movies everybody's buzzing about. There's 2 or 3 really buzzy films at Sundance this year. Mm-hmm. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, though. Birth of a Nation, anybody?
Well, it also doesn't mean that just because something's buzzing at Sundance, when you actually see it, it may be a bit of a letdown like crazy.
Precious. Anyway, that'll be this Sunday, and it's one of our listen to shows of the year. We hope you'll be here. Get all the scoop on all the great films that will be seen at Oscar time probably this coming year. So definitely be there. And a week from today, day and date, February 1st, PNRNetworks is debuting a brand new show. Mm-hmm. I got to thinking a few weeks ago, and I'm like, Kim has her own little show. She does a show called Platinum Rose's Garden. It's on, not weekly, but in spurts, weekly when the show's on weekly, throughout the Supernatural season, covering all of the adventures of her boys, Sam and Dean Winchester, and their off-the-wall angel, ex-angel friend, Castiel. Is he still an angel or not?
He got better.
He got better.
Angel
okay.
Again.
And she enjoys it, and it's not safe for work, but she enjoys the hell out of it. And I'm like, there's got to be something out there that I could do. I want to do something. I want to do my own show, too. So, knowing that things are going on in my life right now, that I needed to push the new show I had planned for debuting this month, a show called Real Rewind. The research on that show is hella hard to do, and so I'm still working on it, and Real Rewind will launch in, hopefully, June. But for now, I decided there's got to be something out there that I can do, and there happens to be one particular genre of film that I absolutely adore. And I'm like, okay, let me see. I know this stuff backward and forward. I can give my expert opinion on them. I can give my expert reviews of the films. I can have fun with it. And we can have all kinds of goofy laughs about things. Some things occasionally you probably shouldn't laugh at. But I'm thinking, okay, let me see. So I did some research. I spent a couple of days researching the topic online. And while a number of film shows, including Subject Cinema, have done individual episodes of podcasts about this particular genre, and some of them have done like compilation reviews of particular movies in the genre, nobody is doing a whole show about this particular genre. And I'm like, yes, I know how to do this. I can do this. So I started looking into it, and I started researching it again, and started reviving all my love for this stuff. And I've written columns on it here and there, and we've talked about it on Subject Cinema. And it's not a genre Kim is terribly fond of. So I usually get stuck watching most of this by myself anyway, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But I do have other friends that enjoy it, and I've discussed them with people like Eric Lyon, of Cavebabble, and Anthony Lamberti, and it's been a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is give you a sneak peek right here of the show's new theme song, and it will premiere next Wednesday. And if you want to know all the poop on it, I'm going to tell you how to get it after we premiere it. But all I can say is we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun, and I hope you will too. You're about to get catastrophized.
It strikes without warning. It is all-encompassing. It fills your heart with dread. It's a world brimming with less than special effects, convoluted plot lines, junk science, and rampant overacting. And you're stuck right in the middle of it. Whether you survive or die depends on the writers, directors, FX artists, and more. And whether it can be taken as serious cinema or serious cheese. You might even say it's an utter disaster. You've just been sucked into the Catastrophe Vortex with T.C. Kirkham.
I'm going to have so much fun hosting this show. The Catastrophe Vortex is all about disaster movies, and I am a big disaster fan. And I mean, that sounds kind of crass, but, I'm talking about Hollywood films.
Right.
But I'm also going to discuss real-life disasters and that have never been made into films that should be, because they'd make great films. And we'll talk about other things, too. Now, we did a bigger rundown of what's going to be on this show on our Patreon supporters blog. And it is available exclusively to Patreon supporters. And you can hear it. Just come aboard our Patreon campaign for the measly $2 a month, and you can hear it. But we're going to be doing some changes around here for the Patreon campaign, and one of the things we're going to do is we're going to be incentivizing some stuff. So, listening day and date right now, this offer is good from today, January 25th, through the premiere of the show, February 1st, if you join our Patreon campaign at the $75 or $100 level, there is a special new button there. In addition to all the perks you get with those, because we have a ton of cool perks with those high levels, there is also a button for each of those levels that says, sign me up for the Catastrophe Club. The Catastrophe Club is a special perk above and beyond what you will get with that normal perk. In addition to all the stuff you'll get, the usual stuff for those two levels, which are, there's quite a few little big perks involved with the $100 level, but the $75 level has your shout out on Subject Cinema, it has your shout out on Catastrophe Vortex, all this other stuff. And if you take that one particular box and click on the Catastrophe Club, you will be a charter member of this club, and this club is going to be really cool. We're going to have weekly chats about disaster films. We might even find a way to watch something together online. You'll get a membership certificate. You'll get a membership button and a Catastrophe Vortex t-shirt this summer. And you don't have to pay any extra money for that. You just need to mark the Catastrophe Vortex box on that level. And you can join it at the $75 and $100 level. So if you're really a diehard disaster fan, this is your 1 week chance to get into it. I really want disaster movie fans to take a look at this, because you're going to get all these unique gifts in addition to the normal above and beyond Patreon perk for those two levels for coming on board the Catastrophe Vortex. Now, I'm sure that you guys are all aware that we have other shows on the air, and we'll just do a quick plug central here for Platinum Rose's Garden, returning this coming Saturday.
Yes. Platinum Rose's Garden, my Supernatural podcast, will be back with the return of Supernatural this week. They're returning with new episodes for Season 12 at a new time, 8 o'clock on Thursday nights. And this Saturday, I will be doing my review of Episode 9, which is titled First Blood. So hopefully you guys will all come and check that out. It just
seems kind of late in the year to just be on Episode 9, I think most places would be on 14 or 15 by now. There's also Cavebabble with Eric and Valerie Lyon. They're up on the weekends with great stuff about movies, TV, games, odd things to eat, and more at cavebabble.com. 3-Minute Weekend and Tuesday Digidex are two mini shows during the week, running down the newest releases on DVD, Blu-ray, on-demand streaming, Amazon Prime, and Netflix for Tuesday Digidex, and new in theaters every Friday on 3-Minute Weekend. Those are both available on the same feed, and you can listen to those. And as I said, Catastrophe Vortex premieres next Wednesday. It will have its own feed, and I will have the feed, of course, up on the website, which is at catastrophevortex.com, and you will be able to take a look at that. We're going to have our own blog and all kinds of cool stuff. And when the show gets off the air, or gets going, I hope everybody will come over and listen, because I think it's going to be fun to do. And I might even get Kim to listen, even though she hates disaster movies.
I don't hate disaster movies.
You don't like them. You don't even, you like to missy them.
I don't like disaster movies, no. Simply because they make me paranoid. And I would think, since you live with me, you wouldn't want me to be paranoid.
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
I mean, I can deal with kaiju movies because I know that a 700-foot fire-breathing lizard is not going to stomp down the streets of Boston.
You sure?
Well, unless you're dropping the brown acid, no, I'm not sure.
What about Clover? He showed up without any warning in New York.
Yeah, right. And it's a movie.
Right.
And I know the difference between fantasy and reality, despite what some people might think.
So we hope you'll enjoy the new shows, and we hope you'll come over and join our Patreon campaign. We're really trying hard to get some funding going, and it starts at just $2. If you don't want the perks, you can start at just $2 and help us out. We need some new equipment. We need to get some other stuff going for great new projects we have planned this year. I've got as I outlined on State of the Site this week, we do have a new video show in the works with Kim. We have a new video show in the works for eCinemaBoston, which will focus on some historic theaters in the area. We have a number of other things, but we can't do them without your help. So please come on board, patreon.com/PNRNetworks, and hook up with us. Plans start at $2 all the way up to $100, and if you join at the $75 and $100 level between now and February 1st and click that Catastrophe Club button, you're going to get a whole bunch of extra perks in addition to the regular stuff that's there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you'll join us every week for all of our stuff and for the premiere of the Catastrophe Vortex next week.
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? Well, it's you, girl.
January, the last couple of years, have been terrible for losing people. We lost a bunch of musicians last year, and all like in a week or two of each other. We had our first major passing of the year today, and it's somebody that I grew up with and you grew up with, and I mean, how do you describe the career of Mary Tyler Moore? The woman was an amazing performer.
Yes, she was. Mary Tyler Moore passed away today. She was 80 years old. She was a real icon for women in the 70s. Mm-hmm. She
made my list, actually, for Front Row 5 and 10 a few weeks ago as influential women. Mary Richards, the character she played.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Which I was kind of like, okay, at first, but then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. I surprised her a lot with that list.
Yes, you did. Mary Tyler Moore was an actress and an advocate and just all-around really great person.
She's best known for her roles on The Dick Van Dyke Show in the 1960s and her iconic self-named show, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, from 1970 to 1977, which won tons of Emmys while it was on the air.
Yeah.
Grew up watching that. She later would make the jump to the big screen, getting an Academy Award nomination in 1980 for Ordinary People. It was her only nomination. And then after that, she did a couple more movies that didn't do that well, and so she went back to TV, but none of that really took off either. She was steady working while she wanted to be. But there's really, what can you say about this woman who was a pioneer of every... I mean, she was a working actress. She dealt with type 1 diabetes, also alcoholism later in her life.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote 2 memoirs. She lost her only son at age 24, and back in the 80s from a gunshot wound. She's been through everything.
Yeah.
And she will always be one of the most iconic actresses to ever grace the television screen.
And the big screen as well. As TC mentioned, she did a few movies before the movie that really made a splash with people, 1980's Ordinary People. She had done a few movies in the 60s, one of them being a version of Thoroughly Modern Millie in 1967. And she was also in 1969's Change of Habit, playing a nun named Sister Michelle. That was the last scripted movie that Elvis Presley did.
Yeah, and it was her last film until Ordinary People.
Yes, it was.
So that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
She got her start, believe it or not. You can see some of the clips, and I'd forgotten about it till they might mention it on the CBS News Tribute. She got her start in live commercials in the 1950s, playing an elf, I think she was supposed to be, named Happy Hot Point. She was the spokesperson for Hot Point kitchen appliances. And I'm like, oh my God. I had totally forgotten about these. I've seen them in other tributes when they pulled them out. But it's something. She did later reprise her role as Mary Richards in a 2-hour TV movie for ABC called Mary and Rhoda, which was a pilot for a television series. It did not get picked up.
Yeah.
Reteamed her with her friend Valerie Harper, and that was in 2000, I think. And it was she's just always going to be the most remembered female character, I think, of the 1970s, along with the same ladies that were on around the same time with B. Arthur's Maud and Edith Bunker and Mary Richards from WJM in Minneapolis. There's just these characters that you can't forget, and she was one of the leaders in them.
Yeah.
Mary Tyler Moore was 80, and we will miss her ever so much. Thank you for being around all these years. We will miss you greatly.
You turned the world on with your smile, and we'll miss that smile a lot.
You're gonna make it after all.
So that's going to do it for this week. We got our big film festival show coming up on Sunday. Almost forgot. I did forget to mention when we were talking about the other shows. Front Row 5 and 10 on Thursdays. This week it is our top 10 robots, androids / AI characters.
Yes.
From everything. TV, movies, music, literature.
Comics,
a little bit of everything. Oh, I forgot about that one. Now you mentioned comics. I totally forgot one. I got my list ready to go, and you do too, and it'll be fun. That's every Thursday now, and it's been bumped to Thursday because of the premiere of Catastrophe Vortex, which is coming up in a week. We hope you will be there for it. Hopefully, this weekend will be fun. We have a lot of interesting stuff going on, including the Cloturtis nominations, our local little group that we're involved with. That's going to be interesting. And then there'll be the SAG Awards on Sunday, which we'll cover on the following week. And we hope you'll join us for our 11th annual Festival of Film Festivals. All the big festivals, all of the picks, the ones that people are buzzing about. There's quite a few of them, and more. Our first festival show of the year, and it's always one of our most listened to shows, and we hope that you will spread the word out there.
Yep.
Don't forget to join us on Twitter. I am at eCinemaOne and eCinemaBoston. Kim is at Platinum Rose L.
Yep, at Twitter.com.
And Twitter. And Facebook, you can find us under Popcorn and Roses still.
Yep.
And don't forget to leave us a voicemail or a speak pipe if you'd like to get on the show. We'll play those. Or email us, subjectcinema@PNRNetworks.com.
If you'd like to read some fan fiction that I've written, I am over at fanfiction.net. You can look up Platinum Rose Lady as an author, and you can read some of my stuff. I have some fanfic over there that I hope that people will like if they want to read some fiction and some poetry and stuff like that, because I do write on my own sometimes.
You write on your own a lot of the time.
Well,
what are you talking about?
For fun.
And you can always check out all the latest news and what we were commenting on eCinemaOne.com. Please join us over there every day. I usually have in addition to the podcast, you can also get other little tidbits of info throughout the week, and it's hopefully going to get better and better as our Patreon gets bigger and bigger.
Yep.
That's a hint, people. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We hope you'll let us know what you think is going to win the Oscars, what you think of the Oscar nominees, of the Razzie nominees, and everything else. We'd love to hear from you at subjectcinema@PNRNetworks.com. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Let's move on out of here.
And own it, drive it like you stole it, roll it, this is your life, you can be anything, you gotta learn to rock and roll it, you gotta put the pedal down, and drive it like you stole
it. For Subject Cinema, I'm T.C. Kirkham.
I'm Kim Brown.
May your popcorn always be buttered.
And may your roses always be in bloom.
And now, on to the awards!
I'd like to thank all the little people that made this possible. The Smurfs.
You have been listening to Subject Cinema with hosts T.C. Kirkham and Kim Brown. Subject Cinema is produced by PNRNetworks, Boston, Massachusetts, which is solely responsible for its content. Subject Cinema theme performed by Eric Lyon. Subject Cinema is recorded and produced using Sony Vegas products. Subject Cinema is copyright 2017 by PNRNetworks under a Creative Commons license. Check out a new episode of Subject Cinema every weekend. Until next time, this is Bob Taylor for Subject Cinema, and we'll see you at the movies.
That's all.
Podcasting's choice. From coast to coast, continent to continent, right here 24/7.